Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm bringing this video to you today um, mostly because I'm so tired of hearing the press and so on, as well as the Democratic Party, condemning Trump for a lot of crimes that were absolutely untrue. Um, Let me start by saying that I don't do this video to support Trump or to be politically biased in any way. I simply call it as I see it. And what I'm seeing is that a man who is innocent of these crimes is being forced to undergo unjust punishment for hearsay or even slander in the press. A lot of smoke and mirrors created by special interests that hate our president and that wish to destroy America. So let's get into it. The latest scandal from Pelosi that I've been reading about here, the Ukrainian scandal, where apparently, according to the official narrative of the press and Pelosi herself, says that Trump is offering to give the president of Ukraine money in exchange for favors, or, if you will, a favor for a favor kind of idea, that there is implied some kind of benefit that Trump will get. So here I have CNN right at the front of me, and anybody who knows the American press knows that CNN, MSNBC are no friends of Trump. And you might even argue that they're really against Trump. They're about as anti-Trump as it gets. Here's the phone conversation in which I found. A little background. Trump had recently closed the case with Robert Mueller, even though Mueller did his best on the orders of the Democrats, I might add, to try to muddy the waters for Trump so that Trump cannot say he has full exoneration, even though the evidence clearly indicates that he's exonerated and that he had the full cooperation and transparency with Robert Mueller for the Mueller report to take place. 300 witnesses and millions of dollars spent to make that report, and still not exonerated for partisan political nonsense on the part of Mueller. So here we are. Here's the part of the conversation where the Democrats, Pelosi, and the media are trying to skew the message that Trump is trying to say. So here Trump say, "Good, because I heard you had a prosecutor who was very good and was shut down, and that's really unfair. A lot of people are talking about it. The way they shut down your very good prosecutor, and you had some very bad people involved. Mr. Giuliani is a highly respected man. He was the mayor of New York City, a great mayor, and I would like to call him to call you. I will ask him to call you along with the Attorney General. Rudy knows very much what's happening, and he's a very capable guy. If you could speak to him, that would be great. The former ambassador from the United States, the woman was bad news, and the people she was dealing with in Ukraine were bad news. So I just want to let you know that. The other thing, there is a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me." Okay, so some of that I paraphrased, please excuse me. But to get to the point, Trump is not doing any favors for President Zelensky, nor is he accepting any kind of profitable or exchange of favors, nothing like that. As I look at the conversation here, Trump is congratulating, as he said, to the new president of Ukraine on his victory for becoming president. And then they start to discuss issues that are concerning both countries. Now, what Trump says here is that I knew about Biden stopping a prosecution for Biden's son on illegal activity in Ukraine. Guilty or not guilty doesn't matter, because Biden was bragging about how he stopped the prosecution. So if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me, but that's his choice. President Trump never, ever forced President Zelensky to make an investigation because Trump wills. No. Trump is asking if you would like to look into it. I heard this about this person, about Biden. So really, there is a game of misdirection being played here in the press. Joe Biden and Biden's son appear to be guilty to me, because what person hides from the crimes and tries to forego a trial and avoid the trial and so on? The guilty party. So President Trump is inquiring about it, because of course Trump knows the history, what's going on there. Trump knew about the illegal activities going on in Ukraine. Biden stopped the prosecution. So why he stopped the prosecution for it? It's an inquiry. So upon investigation of the transcript that is provided here by CNN, I can conclude Trump didn't do anything illegal or out of the ordinary. He's simply inquiring. That's the truth. And that is his right as a president. Anything involving any Americans. It's not as if he's trying to be biased. Nothing like that. He is simply aware of the situation, and he brought to the attention President Zelensky, I'm aware of that situation. Are you aware of that situation? And President Zelensky responded, I wanted to tell you about the prosecutor. First of all, I understand and I'm knowledgeable about the situation. Okay, so he confirms his knowledge of the situation. Since we have won the absolute majority in our parliament, the next prosecutor general will be 100% my person. So it implies that this person before, who is occupying the prosecutor general, is corrupt. Because as I understand it, President Zelensky does want to end corruption and crime in his country, and he wants to restore the infrastructure to a more stable and less corrupt and more trustworthy in his government infrastructure. So he had to appoint new people. Will be 100% my person, my candidate, who will be approved by the parliament and will start as the new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the situation specifically to the company that you mentioned in this issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue of making sure to restore the honesty, so we will take care of that. And we'll work on the investigation of the case. Okay, so President Zelensky confirms his Trump's information, and that he intends to put the new prosecutor on the case because he knew something corrupted there happened, and he knew that the prosecution was not abiding by the proper rules, by judiciary rules, and they want to investigate together. And Trump is offering his support by way of Attorney General Barr and Rudy Giuliani to try to help the Ukrainian government expose that case, or at least to investigate it and scrutinize it and see if any illegal activity took place, which is their suspicion, both sides. Trump did not try to create suspicion. Zelensky was already aware and had suspicion about Biden and the son. So you cannot make Trump some illegal activity. There's nothing there that's illegal. It is a shared idea between the two presidents. On top of that, I would kindly ask you if you had any additional information that you can provide to us. It would be very helpful for the investigation to make sure that we can administer justice in our country with regard to the ambassador to the United States from Ukraine. As far as I recall, her name was Ivanovich, and it was great that you were the first one who told me that she was a bad ambassador, because I agree with you 100%. Her attitude towards me was far from the best, as she was admired by the previous president and she was on his side. She would not accept me as a new president well enough. Okay, so I can only say President Trump is doing the best that he can for America, for American people, for the well-being and the to make America great. There's no way I can better summarize it. To further her interests abroad, to increase her allies, increase trade, economy, and so on and so forth. Trump is working tirelessly to pursue American interests and do his best on a global scale for the United States of America. God bless our president, because this man, he works tirelessly. It's superhuman what he's trying to accomplish. All I'm saying is that I want to scrutinize this conversation, because everything surrounding it is absolutely nonsense from what I hear in the press. They simply try to skew the president's words to try to make it look like he's offering a favor to President Zelensky. No favors were asked for. It is a shared idea between the two presidents. We want to get rid of corruption in our infrastructure, and we need to work together to make sure we can make it happen. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I hope that you feel the same. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.